My name's Jennifer Robinson and I'm International Counsel for the International Federation of Journalists. There is clearly an accountability problem for any alleged crimes committed by the Israeli forces, and in this case the deliberate targeting of Palestinian journalists. The failure of the state to properly investigate and prosecute those responsible for killing journalists is an accountability gap that we want to try to redress through seeking an ICC investigation into these killings. Shereen Abu Akleh's murder is a very serious potential war crime. The targeting of journalists is a war crime. Journalists are not fair game in conflict. And the addition of her case to our broader complaint about the pattern of targeting of Palestinian journalists has brought more global attention, and we hope will provide greater impetus to the ICC prosecutor to properly investigate and to prosecute for these crimes. It is within the discretion of the ICC prosecutor to take up this case and to properly investigate. We will continue to push the ICC, providing them the evidence that we have gathered, working together with the PJS to ensure that they do take this case up. We say that the ICC is the most important and for an independent and impartial investigation and prosecution of these crimes. If the ICC chooses not to, we will start to investigate other universal jurisdiction options for holding these individuals to account. It depends. We hope that they'll respond quickly. This is an important case and it's an important issue. We haven't seen the ICC before take on specifically the prosecution of cases involving the killing of journalists, and we think, given the extent of the problem globally, not just in respect of the occupied Palestinian territories, we think that this is an important case and an important precedent that the ICC prosecutor ought to be considering. Looking at the targeting of journalists in the context of the Ukraine, for example, we ought to also be looking at it in this other geographical context involving Israel and Palestine. Through the prosecution of individuals and those with command responsibility for these operations where Palestinian journalists are being targeted and killed, that is a means by which the state can be held to account. And the prosecution of individuals will highlight and demonstrate that government policies and practices which involve the targeting of journalists are unlawful and will have a deterrent effect. So by prosecuting individuals, we do have a deterrent effect on all government policies and government officials everywhere.